Why must we be employed? You ever applied for a loan and they ask you your employment history? What you're doing for money? Most of the time people, when they ask for a loan, it's because they're hurting for money. And they need some to get back on their feet. You're not going to get a loan if you're not employed. But being employed, I mean, it's like, you can't even say, well, I'm employed by mowing lawns. If you could mow 100 lawns a day for $10, and you know what? Provided that went pretty well, you make a lot of money. You'd still get turned down for a loan. You got to prove that you're employed, which means employed by an established corporation or company that has a tax ID number and gives you check stubs. Which means that the requirement that is acknowledged, you know, subliminally, is that you gotta be owned by somebody. The main time of your week has got to be owned by someone. And just the reality of that is not acknowledged. Even in most people that work their entire lives, they don't realize that they are doing an exchange. It is not a profit. It's not something out of their own ingenuity that they're selling and getting money for. They're exchanging their valuable time of their life, the best years of their life, for money that is really nothing in comparison to the actual value of the time they're exchanging. And that, interestingly, is against the Constitution in America for what is allowable to be taxed. Profit can be taxed, but not in exchange of wages. A wage, which is off-balance wage. You're supposed to be wage, you know, wage means, oh, I do this for this. The best years of your life are more valuable than what you're getting for the time you give away to things that you're not passionate about. You're just doing it because you have to, because the world wants all this money out of people. The world wants money. When somebody dies, they really want money. The cost of a funeral and all the things that have to be done. If you can't pay for that, you know what happens? I know from experience. Nothing. The government does nothing for your dead loved one. They will... Nothing's, you know, possible. They really just have an indignant, no dignity end to it all of cremation. No celebration of the person's life. You know, where somebody did things their entire life for the benefit of the country, and everybody is in America and in most countries are a huge benefit to the country. And that's not celebrated at the end of their life. Ridiculous. We are in a state of technological advance to where nobody really has to work. We can have automated farming. We can have the whole world piped for water and gas. And they're lying about the natural resources. You dig deep enough, you can get oil and natural gas anywhere. The planet produces it. It's all a lie, this talk about it being a finite resource. All the things that people stress out about with their month-to-month bills do not need to be paid for. The generators that make the electricity, they make it for free, with gigantic electromagnetic turbines. And the only real cost is maintenance, which is really easily done at this point. I mean, yeah, something goes down, a work crew's got to come out. But we are at a point where someone having an electricity bill that's $200 a month, or a gas bill that's $200 a month, and water that's close to that, is stupid. Okay? You can get fresh water out of Greenland. Just scooping up the glacier ice and having it melt. It's the purest water in the world. And that would last 1,000 years. Or Antarctica. The idea that they just force people to pay money for all these things, to have you be a slave, is just atrocious. And if you can't pay it, they shut you off. And then you got real problems. And they don't care. They don't want to listen to your reasons, even though they are valid reasons. You just got to pay it. And if you're not employed, you're looked at as, you know, someone with a problem. It's like, no, you've got a problem if you want to enslave me or anybody. You expect us to give 40 or 50 hours out of our week to crap? No. That's an essential problem, is this idea of the expectation of employment, this expectation of slavery. You can have your apartment, your house, you don't really own anything, and you're allowed to go out into the prison yard, and you might have keys to your own cell, but it is a prison cell. This requisite of you paying all of these things, it's just a different kind of slavery. It's ingenious slavery. Especially since 9 out of 10 people don't know that's exactly what it is.